Hello everyone, welcome to my first video of 3-part series of our 21 days fruit feasting journey. Before I begin, let me tell you that I had already completed one 21 days fruit feasting just 1 week before. I had had a great experience, no craving, absolute calmness, etc. Then I'd taken a break of 1 week where I allowed myself to indulge a bit. I had salads including steamed veggies with dressings, heavy on nuts and seeds. I even took cooked vegan meals, once in a vegan restaurant and once in my house where I prepared a Buddha bowl for myself and husband. Though the vegan restaurant served very delicious food, I just could not enjoy it. I had a very surprising experience there, and I'll share the details of that in part 3 of this series. The reason I was doing this second challenge is more to give company to my husband, as it was his first one. Though he eats generally healthy, staying raw until dinner almost all the days, it was his first experiment staying away from cooked meals for such a long time. Since the last couple of months, he has been experiencing some sort of nerve weakness where he experiences numbness in his arms when he wakes up from sleep in the morning. He has also been consulting a doctor in Sri Sri Ayurveda hospital for the same and taking Ayurveda medicines and massaging oil, etc. Not too much of improvement there. It's been a couple of months. Of late, he started experiencing pain and numbness in his left toe also. The doctor has advised him to come to Sri Sri Hospital and get some of the treatments, including Panchkarma, as a residential 10 days program. We were even getting ready to go there. But when we calculated the complete cost, it was coming to more than 50,000. We were like, what to do now? Then an idea struck me as to why he doesn't try staying only on fruits for a short duration and see that helps. I have watched so many people on YouTube heal different diseases being only on fruits. We had nothing to lose by doing this. There we began our journey. It just happened to be a day when we had a small ceremony to perform at house. Once the ceremony was over, we set out to buy fruits. We bought lots of them: mangoes, chicus, papaya, jackfruit, grapes, and many others. How did we eat our fruits? We had only mono meals. That is, at one time we had only mangoes or only watermelon and so on. And we had about 4 to 5 varieties of fruits on any given day. I had heard a lot of the huge benefits of doing a mono fruit fast. For example, eating only grapes or bananas for an entire duration of 10, 20 or even 40 days. I thought of doing this and being only on mangoes because mangoes are my favorites and I could probably eat them for several days in a row. So I started eating only mangoes, but I was eating so many of them in a day that I soon realized this would not turn out economical. So after a week of eating only mangoes, I turned to other fruits. We were sticking to mono meals all the time, but there were few exceptions where we also had their juices, such as pomegranate. Also, if pineapples were a bit sour, we juiced them with grapes to make them a bit sweeter. So the days went by. There was no cooking, lot of free time. We did our usual activities, exercises, evening walk together. We usually spend our Sunday morning playing tennis. My husband and son used to play together when my son was here, but now that our son has left for higher studies to Chennai, I'm trying to fill the gap. These days, whenever our son is home, I also participate in their matches and play with each one of them for a short while. We have a small farm that has a very limited produce of a few fruits like chicus and mangoes. We visit there almost every once in a few months and collect whatever produce is available. Last week, that is the week before we started our fruit feasting journey, we had collected quite a bit of chicus. We thought they will come handy during our fruit feasting weeks. So we fully utilized them. My husband has to turn up for office physically every Thursday. So I usually pack lunch for him and I pack salad for him every time. But this time it was only fruits. So packed some guavas and grapes for him to eat at different times. On the same day, while he was working in office, I got a call from my son. In the call, he sounded a bit fed up, given the excessive amount of heat in Chennai and the suboptimal food at his canteen. Since he was pretty sick in the last 2 days, he had still not fully recovered and needed some rest. This time, I felt like I need to be there to give him emotional support. So once my husband came from office, within the next 2 hours, we decided that we will go there. So we booked overnight bus ticket, a service apartment with kitchen facilities, packed all the cooking items such as oil, spices, rice, pulses, etc. and set out for Chennai. We also packed the fruits we had bought as they would come handy in our trip to Chennai. I thought it would be a new experience and was looking forward to this union in a totally different environment. We had booked the last 2 seats, only those were available. Due to too much of shaking and little rash driving, we could not sleep even for 10 minutes in the entire journey. Somehow we arrived around 6 a.m. We reached the service apartment, but we could not check in until 12 o'clock. So we left our luggages there and started roaming outside, wondering how we will spend the next 6 hours in that Chennai heat. We were a bit hungry, so found a juice shop where we asked the shopkeeper to make us juices without sugar. We also finished the cut fruits we packed the previous night. And then headed to a nearby park. But by 11 o'clock, I was finding it pretty difficult to bear the extreme heat that I was not used to since a really long time. Just as if God was helping us in every way, my husband suddenly got a call from his colleague who works from Chennai home And it so happened that his house was just 10 minutes walk from where we were. So we thought, what better way to spend inside the comfort of his house? So we went there and he happily gave us company for the next 1 hour. Once we got the confirmation from service apartment owner, we headed towards it. To our surprise, this house was so big, neat, and had every comfort I could imagine of. After we freshened up and took rest for an hour, husband went to son's college to bring him, while I got busy cooking for my son. So when they came home, I served his favorite food. He had college next day, that is Saturday, unfortunately. Though it would take nearly 1 hour to reach his office, I still packed lunch for him, whereas husband went all the way so son could enjoy it during the lunch break. And then he stayed there till the classes were over and brought him back to the apartment. For us parents, the stay was convenient as both of us were on fruits, no hassles of chopping veggies for salad and dressings, or even cooking for him at night. Not just we finished all the fruits that we took from home, we fell short of it and had to buy from here. Though there were lots of fruit shops, there was a real shortage of organic shops. We had to make do with inorganic fruits, and they also did not have the taste of the fruits that we usually get here at Bangalore. Otherwise, these 3 days and 2 nights were one of the most memorable times we had in the recent days. I loved cooking favorite dishes for my son, caring for him. He surely enjoyed and felt loved enough that he hopefully acquired the strength to take on the challenges of the near future. With that satisfied feeling, we headed back to Bangalore. This time on a flight, as we didn't want to risk traveling on a bus, especially because Monday was a working day for my husband. We ended up reaching home at around 3 a.m. in the morning. After sleeping for the rest of the morning, we were ready for the week 2 of our 21 days fruit feast challenge. Let me share our detox experience in the first week of fruit feasting. In the first week, for both of us, the detox symptom was not that much. For me, it was a bit extra burping. This happens whenever I go on only on fruits or when I go on water fasting. I also experienced a slow bowel movement in the first 1 or 2 days. So when the burping gets a bit unusual, I decide to do enema. So I did enema a couple of times. After that, the symptoms subsided. My bowel movement also became smooth and I was able to eliminate 3 to 4 times a day. So it was so smooth, in fact, much better than when I'm on salads also. On salads, because I use dressings, etc., so it kind of slows down the eliminations. But on fruit, my elimination is in the top form. For my husband, he experienced slow bowel movements. Once he actually experienced a very uncomfortable constipation. So I suggested that he does enema. He was a bit hesitant because he had never done enema in the past. So I explained to him everything on how to use enema, etc. Then he decided to go ahead, and to my surprise, he was actually able to put 1 liter of water into his intestine in the first attempt itself. So that kind of showed that his intestine was pretty clear. In my case, when I did for the first time, I think I would have put just around 50 to 100 milliliters of water, not more than that. He was able to hold it for some time. While he was holding it, he did a bit of exercise, simple movement, etc. And when he was ready, he evacuated. He was so much relieved after evacuating. He was quite happy that it was quite simple to use the enema. After that, he did not have any such uncomfortable constipation, but he did have a slower bowel movement. He was going only on alternate days in the first week of fruit feasting. So that was about our detox experience in our first week. Apart from that, my husband experienced difficulty in adjusting to mono meals of fruits. He's used to eating a lot of varieties in his breakfast for fruit. And when he had to eat mono meals, he was a bit bored and he was not satisfied. It took him a couple of days to get used to eating mono meals of fruits. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Let me know what you think of it in the comment below. If you liked it, I would appreciate you hit a like, share or subscribe to the channel. In the next video, I share our second week journey where I will share our experiences, very different from those we had in the first week. Whether we got bored of our fruit meals, places we went to as we had so much free time, our exercise routines, more detoxes and many more. Stay tuned. Until then, take care and bye-bye.